Welcome to the Borough of Swissvale regular council meeting for November 6th, 2024. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock p.m. Let's go through our roll call. Ms. Alfonso Wells could not be here this evening. Mr. Haynes.
Present.
Mr. Miser.
Here.
Mr. Quinn could not be here this evening, nor could Ms. Stribling. Ms. Swartzwelder.
Here.
And Mayor Swartzwelder is also absent. Let's move on to our public comment. First, we have Mickey McGlasson to talk about SEDCO. You can stand behind those and project.
Yep.
I shall project. Thank you. Thanks for having me. So I'm just going to provide a SEDCO update for the Swissvale Economic Development Corporation, that is SEDCO, as a few SEDCO members have been doing for the last several months at these meetings. First off, on the curb appeal program that you guys are all familiar with, thanks to council for continuing to support that. We've had 6 successful projects, 6 more projects that are currently in process. A spreadsheet with the details was distributed to council. If anybody has any questions, let us know. We're hoping to continue getting applications for that. We've sent around some, we've handed out some postcards. If anybody needs postcards to like spread the word about that, we'd love to get more people to apply to this program. And specifically, we're focused on more businesses. There's a higher threshold for business improvements. If anybody knows any businesses that might be right for that program, we'd love to talk to people about it. Another thing we want to talk about very briefly, the Active Allegheny Grant Program, for which we have helped to coordinate application between Swissvale and Rankin boroughs to help connect some of the infrastructure down by the Carey Furnace site into the broader regional trail network. SEDCO's been preparing that application and will submit it to the Active Allegheny Grant Program. The deadline for submission is November 8th. Council will be requested from both Swissvale and Rankin to vote in support of that application. It's somewhat related when it comes to grant applications. 3 SEDCO members recently participated in Representative Salisbury's grant writing workshop and are using the resources that they gained there to help to prepare future grant applications, including the last thing I want to talk about, the regional, a potential regional grant application related to litter cleanup. Eager to talk more about that if anybody has questions. And lastly, we'd just like to thank everybody involved in the recent Community Day for putting together a wonderful event, especially the mayor, including for the music that she provided on stage. So thanks, everybody. That's all I got.
Great, thank you. And just, go ahead.
Sorry, may I add one thing?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
forgot one comment I had. SEDCO is wondering if council, or rather, DPW is able to provide a second trash can for the parklet on Church and Braddock. That we think there was to be a second trash can at the parklet site. And we're wondering if that is in the works or what. That's all.
Mr. Backman jotted it down.
Very good. Thank you.
And just to follow up on that, the Active Allegheny Grant Program that you spoke of, it is in our agenda tonight to be voting on that resolution.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Let's move on to Barb Grabowski to talk about tree planting.
Barb Grabowski on behalf of the Shade Tree Committee. Just to let folks know, including Swissvalians and friends, that we received a tree vitalize grant from Western Pennsylvania, which means we will be planting 29 new street trees on Saturday, November 23rd, 9 in the morning till noon, meeting at the DPW building at 1927 McCabe Street. And we'll have tools and supplies. Feel free to bring your own. This will be posted on Facebook page and the borough website with a link to sign up. It helps us to know who's coming ahead of time so we can plan accordingly. Thank you.
What streets are those trees going in
On many streets.
In the newsletter.
I haven't read the newsletter yet. Okay. That's fine. We'll refer everyone to the newsletter.
Yes, good idea.
Find it there. Thank you. All right, that is our public comment. Let's move on to council actions. We have the first category is minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of the September twenty-fifth, 2024 council agenda meeting and the October 1st, 2024 council meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's move down to finance.
I move to approve the Borough of Swissvale paid bills in the amount of $2,229,714.65.
Second.
Any discussion?
Gotta pay bills.
On that note, let's vote. All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's move down to personnel.
I move to ratify the hiring of Mark Lukac as a part-time public services specialist at an hourly rate of $20 with no other benefits.
Second.
Any discussion? He's been doing a great job writing lots of tickets. All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to ratify the hiring of Tina Casali, apologies if I got that wrong, as a substitute crossing guard at an hourly rate of $17.30, with all benefits as listed in the collective bargaining agreement between Swissvale Borough and Teamsters Local 205.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to make a conditional offer of employment as a substitute crossing guard to Joe Deneen, pending all necessary background checks at an hourly rate of $17.30, with all benefits as listed in the collective bargaining agreement between Swissvale Borough and Teamsters Local 205.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to hire James Majewski as a part-time firefighter at the contractual rate of $17.18, with all benefits as listed in the collective bargaining agreement between Swissvale Borough and the International Association of Firefighters Local 16.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve the collective bargaining agreement between Swissvale Borough and Teamsters Local 250, representing the Swissvale Borough Department of Public Works employees for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2029.
Proudly second.
Any, on the table, any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Move down to contracts.
All right, there you go.
I move to approve the extension of the refuse collection agreement with Pitcairn Borough for a period of 1 year for the period of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, in the amount of $276,165.76.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's go down to our resolutions, all grant resolutions.
I move to approve resolution 2412 to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Local Share Account Program for funding to continue renovations at the Swissvale Food Pantry.
Second.
Any discussion? I was at the food pantry this morning. They were all very grateful for the LSA grant that we just received. And I informed them that we'll be applying for another round, which they were very excited to do some interior work there. So they appreciate it. All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2413 to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Local Share Account Program for funding to continue renovations at the Wilkins School Community Center.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2414 to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Local Share Account Program for vehicle and equipment purchasing and repairs.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2415 to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Main Street Matters Program for funding to complete a study of the Swissvale business districts.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2416 to apply to the Community Development Block Grant Program administered by Allegheny County for funding for the Shalai Avenue Sanitary Sewer Replacement Project.
Second.
Motion's on the table. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2417 to apply to the Community Development Block Grant Program administered by Allegheny County for funding to replace handicap accessible ramps on Palmer Street, Irvine Street, and Monongahela Avenue.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2418 to apply to the active Allegheny County Allegheny Grant Program for the funding to study and design of those trail network linking Swissville, Rankin, and Cherry Park property.
Second.
Questions on the table, any discussion? The one that Sedco was just talking to us about. All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve resolution 2419 to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Local Share Account Program for the Schley Avenue Sanitary Sewer Project.
Second.
Motion's on the table, any discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Go down to council discretionary funds.
I move to approve a council discretionary fund request in the amount of $12,500 for the purchase of holiday decorations for the Vista Street.
Second.
Motion's on the table, any discussion?
These will be a great addition to the streets.
Yeah.
I agree, and I appreciate all the council putting together.
Squirrel Hill already has some snowflakes up, so.
Right.
There we go. All right, well, all in favor of approving the motion as read, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That is our business. Let's move down to reports. First is a COG report. Ms. Stribling could not be here, but she let me know that there was no meeting at their last supposed meeting of October 24th because they did not have a quorum. Next is the Connect report, which Ms. Alfonso Wells is not here. We do not have a report. So we're gonna keep moving on. My report, all I want to share is that we have an executive session following this meeting to talk about personnel issues. We keep moving to the mayor report, who is not here, so we don't have a report. She gave her report last week. That's why she doesn't usually provide the reports at our agenda meetings, but we knew she wasn't going to be here this week, so gave her some space to report and share things then. To Mr. Batchey, manager's report.
Thanks, sir. Just a couple quick things. The Borough Building will be closed Monday, November 11th for Veterans Day, so there'll be no services. However, garbage and recycling will be collected on schedule next week. There will be no leaf collection on Monday, and then the day will not be made up. We'll start on Tuesday next week, Tuesday's route. And for people that we're doing their routes now, please be patient. We just started on Monday. There's a lot of leaves. We can only do so many runs around in each neighborhood today because the truck fills up. We have to take it to Wilkins Township to dump it, come back, start over. But you know, please be patient with us. That's all I'm going to say about that. And a reminder, the next agenda meeting will be on November 20th, a week early, along with the budget presentation, which will be at 6 p.m. The budget presentation. The agenda meeting will follow immediately thereafter. And then the following weeks, Thanksgiving, the borough offices are closed Thursday and Friday. There will be a one-day delay in Thursday and Friday garbage and recycling collection. So if your day's Thursday, be picked up Friday, Friday will be picked up Saturday. And there will be no leaf collection on Thanksgiving the day after. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Let's move on to the Borough Engineers Report. Mr. Ziskow.
Mr. President, I have nothing this evening.
Okay, moving right along. Well, we are up to Ms. Tracy Crombie Collins to share the Water Authority reports with us this evening.
Okay, this is the overview for the board meeting that was held on October 22nd. The Dollar Energy Fund project has moved forward. The authority's participation in the program has started and 8 applications have been received. Alcasan's Gene Clark made a presentation during the workshop meeting about their experience with the program. There will be a press release and information on upcoming statements on how the program works. Penvest Grant Phase 2 line replacement continues throughout the footprint. Restoration continues through the end of the asphalt season. Swissvale has 250 completed and 22 remaining. Penvest Grant 3, Phase 3, the authority has been approved for just under $6.8 million grant with a $3.1 million 30-year loan at 1%. The 2025 budget process continues. There's a full board review tomorrow, and a vote is slated for November 26th. There were 33 mainline breaks since the last board meeting, 139 distribution services forward in Swissvale. John Beluski was hired as the authority's Assistant Executive Director as of starting October 28th. Other business was conducted. The documents are available online. And if you have or see any water issues, please call WPJWA customer service at 412-243-6200. And as an additional update, there is a authority update in the newsletter. That's my report. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we have solicitor's report, Mr. McTiernan.
Mr. President, I have nothing to add to the agenda.
Let's move on to any announcements.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment. Chief Watson and Chief Wilhelm with the rally this week. Thank you for the support you offered. And those, that was obviously came together very quickly and last minute.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I got a call from the city of Pittsburgh Saturday. I was here actually working because building a shift, but and they said, hey, just heads up, Secret Service is on their way to Cary Furnaces to check that site out. They're gonna have a white presidential rally there on Monday night. I was like, what? And then they said no. And then what, 9 o'clock Saturday night? They contacted me back and said, no, it's on. So we were here Sunday, Monday. Long hours.
Thank you. Everything I've heard of the event.
It was quite an experience that I will, if I ever write my resume, will put on there because, I mean, it was, having to put an off plan together for a vice presidential visit is definitely one of the highlights of my career here. And working with Secret Service and the multitude of agencies, and I'd like to say, state police provided 15 troopers, state county police provided 6 officers. The emergency services department from the county provided the command truck. Both the county police and emergency services had drone coverage. They talked about Butler, Herman weren't drones. We had drones up the entire time of that. And the officers, we had 8 officers working during it from Swissvale, and I didn't have to mandate anybody. They were more than happy to come work it, and we're enthusiastic about doing it. So it was quite an experience. So
We provided support for the hazmat team for the vice president. That there's all kinds of things that you don't even know that happen all in the background. But it was pretty cool. I was up at the podium with the Secret Service agents and listening to Katy Perry doing her warm-ups. And
most of the borough could hear the warm-ups.
yeah. And I just want to do also a shout out and thank you to the Borough of Homestead and Chief Tim Eads from Homestead Fire Department. At the last minute, they had a vulnerability that they identified and they needed to hang a flag out in the field to block a potential view of her dais. And we were down to just the ladder truck to respond to fire calls because one's in the shop, the other was assigned to the hazmat protocols, and they brought over 2 ladder trucks and helped us set that up and left them there for the whole event. And so it's just about interagency working together to accomplish the goal.
So I forgot, Mon Hall also was there helping us with the other end of the hot metal bridges on either side of that, and Eastern Regional Mon Valley had officers at the intersection. So it really was a multi-agency incident. We all communicated well with each other, and the Secret Service were actually impressed with the officers in this area. What they did.
Yeah, they were very thankful.
Yes.
It'd be much nicer if we had like 6 weeks.
Right.
You know.
Well, thank you for your flexibility and hard work.
Yes, and I concur with Mr. Meisner. Thank you, and also for Halloween. I think a lot of work. Halloween and Monday, so
It's been a,
busy time.
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
Okay, any other announcements?
thank you, Josh. Thank you.
I'd welcome a motion to adjourn at 7:21 P M.
Motion to adjourn.
We moved it.
Oh, second.
Second, all in favor of adjourning, please say